Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Kumari Valentine here. Welcome to my podcast, and thank you so much for tuning in. Before I forget, if you are listening to this when it is released, I have a mini online workshop on Monday, the 21st of November, and we're going to be talking about stress relating to Christmas, family dynamics, as well as the dynamics associated with managing other people. That workshop will be both live as well as a recording released, and at a later date there'll be an online course if people are interested. So please sign up if you're interested. You'll find that link on my Facebook page, which is Dr. Kumari NZ, and also my website, I hope. Okay, so let's get started talking about today's topic. Does saying no make you feel guilty, overwhelmed, or negative in some way? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you really didn't want to do something, but you said yes anyway? Maybe a friend asked you to go to a party or to do something, and you really didn't want to do it. You didn't want to go, but you felt like you had no choice. You felt like you couldn't say no. Or maybe your boss asked you to stay late and you really wanted to leave on time, but you didn't want it to seem like you weren't a team player. If this sounds familiar to you, or you can think of a million other examples, you are absolutely not alone. So many of us have a really hard time saying no, even when we know that saying no is what we should do. We don't want to disappoint people or let them down, and so we say yes, even when it's not what we want. But saying yes all the time can be exhausting and can lead to resentment and a whole host of other emotions. For the people that I see, the problem also with saying yes or not being able to say no is that there is a repeat of emotional experiences that are like the ones that they've had growing up. So saying no is an important skill to learn, and it's also important to be able to leave the guilt or negative feelings behind. Now, I also want to say that you might already have tried to be assertive, right? And that might have gone badly. Or people might have, in a well-meaning fashion, told you to just be assertive. But unfortunately, there's no just about it. Let's look at what might be behind the difficulties saying no. The emotions and thoughts that accompany even thinking about saying no give us important clues. We might worry about disappointing others or seeming uncooperative or unhelpful. We might think that we don't have the right to say no, or that it's not our place, or that others will get angry with us, or that it's not safe. We may feel guilty or selfish if we put our own needs first. We might believe we don't deserve to say no, or that doing so would not be feminine, or the things that a good mother would do, and so on. The roots of this difficulty in saying no might go deeper than initially appears. Some of these might be traced back to our family of origin, right? The families we grew up in, where we learned certain limiting beliefs about assertiveness and also about self-care. If our parents or caregivers were always saying yes, they were modeling a certain way of behavior, and we may have learned and then internalized the belief that we should always be available to others. Right? we should always try to help others, that helping others is the right thing to do, and that it's selfish or bad to put our own needs first. If our parents were demanding, we may have learned to associate saying no with conflict and with power struggles. Adverse childhood experiences can also make it difficult to say no, as saying no might have led to feelings of worthlessness and over time a lack of self-esteem. So there might have been a large range of experiences, both big experiences and small experiences, when saying no was not respected or welcomed. So one important thing to know is that we always have the right to say no. We can start this practice of self-care by setting small boundaries and learning the skill of assertiveness. So guilt doesn't disappear on its own. In order to be assertive in saying no, we have to hold or practice certain beliefs. And one of these beliefs is that we have the right to say no, and also another, that we are allowed to take care of ourselves. So challenging the beliefs underneath that and knowing where those beliefs come from is really important. Over time, challenging these ideas and holding these new ideas becomes easier, and it helps us to build healthier relationships that are based on mutual respect and the allowing of saying no with ease. So the ability to say no is an essential part of us looking after ourselves. Learning to set boundaries is a crucial step in taking care of ourselves and in also maintaining healthy relationships. So thinking about this, I've put together some journaling prompts that might be of interest or perhaps helpful to you. You might take your time over these. And as always, feel free to discuss these with somebody you trust. So here are my questions. Is it safe, or has it been safe for you to say no in the past? What did your family of origin or your carers model to you about saying no? Was it okay to? Did anything negative happen when you said no? What did you get when you said yes? Did you get love and attention that was conditional on saying yes? Were you excluded when you said no? Were you made to feel defective or like you had done something wrong when you said no? Did you feel unlovable when you said no? And the flip side of that, did you feel lovable, liked, or approved of when you said yes? Growing up, were you allowed to have your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions? Were your wishes listened to? Today, as an adult, where in your life are the times you would like to say no? In what circumstances do those occur? Are there people in your life who do listen and who make it easier to say no? What makes it easier for you to say no, and what makes it harder? So I hope that those journaling prompts were useful. I have a podcast that is about journaling more effectively and journaling with the aim of aiding reflection rather than rumination, which is that overthinking, overanalyzing that takes us into some negative spaces. So please check that out for some helpful hints. I would really love to hear from you if anything resonates for you, or if there's something you'd like me to expand on, or a topic that you'd like me here talking to. Thank you very much for joining me, and talk soon.